Good morning, everybody. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Auditor, minutes and claims, please.
We got minutes for September 20th to be approved. And then the rezoning minutes for the same day.
I'll make a motion to approve the commissioners' meeting minutes and the rezoning hearing minutes from 9/20/22.
And I will second that.
All in favor, by aye.
Then we've got the claim docket for September 17th through 23rd in the amount of $639,008.25.
I'll make a motion to approve the claim docket September 17th through the 23rd in the amount of $639,008.25.
I will second.
All in favor, by
Aye.
And next, we've got the claim docket for September 24th through the 30th for $995,361.13 plus payroll of $1,107,159.70 for a total of $2,102,520.83.
I'll make a motion to accept the docket September 24th to September 30th for $2,102,520.83.
Second it.
all in favor, by aye. Any opposed? Okay. Anything else, Jimmy?
That's it.
Okay. All right, number 3 on the agenda here, we have a resolution for Division 7 Court. Mr. Newton, would you like to take the opportunity to kind of explain what this is and what's going on?
Thank
Morning,
you.
Judge.
I noticed that there was an error here in spelling on the, I looked up response, and I thought that's not the word. It should be resolved, and we'll correct that and get that to you. We've had good response from our commissioners, from the mayor, from our prosecutor, from private attorneys, from the Bar Association, about the necessity of a 7th court. Nobody wants to have to do that. We wish we didn't have to have courts, just like we wish we didn't have to have a lot of things, but it's just a necessity. We have, at this time, the 3rd highest caseload of courts in the state of Indiana, and it may be at this time, I believe one of those counties actually they were able to get 1 or 2 new courts, and so we might be 2nd, but I'm not exactly sure on that at this time. But with that caseload, we feel that, and particularly this is driven by the juvenile court, and we think that that we can hopefully get and dispense justice a little quicker, particularly there in custody and other disputes. But we also hope that this will have an effect, because we intend to, keep a magistrate, that it will have an effect on our jail population and on trying to get courts, trying to get cases resolved on a quicker manner. We've done a lot of different things and have a lot of specialty courts trying to lessen the amount and the strain on the jail, but it still keeps going up, and we're doing our very best, as Terry knows, and we're trying to work together, and that's one of the things that's been so good, is the bipartisan nature of this. This is not a political issue. This is a countywide issue, and I think all of us at this point are jumping in and doing our best to resolve it. And so we're just asking for your support too of this proposal. It actually there's a committee that's going to meet this next week with the state. It's a Senate committee, and we're optimistic, but, you know, it has to clear that committee, and then it would be up to the legislature for this to pass. This would be this next year. The earliest that Senator Ford has indicated to me that this could be put into place would be July 1 of this next year. That would be an appointment by our governor, or perhaps at the end of the year. And at that time, then in the 24 election cycle, whoever that new judge would be would run in that cycle. And we only have one other judge that would be up at that time, and that is Division 6. So 6 and 7 would run at the same time if this all goes according to plan. So we're asking for your support with this resolution here today.
Any questions?
No, I know this has been on on the radar for several months, and as you mentioned, the dedication efforts to try to minimize and avoid this at all possible, and here we are, and it's what we're mandated to do by the Constitution to serve these people, and so anything else?
Well, Judge, thank you for your time today and in your advocacy for this court. I know with talking with several people involved in the juvenile system, that pressure is there, and that there is a tremendous need. A lot of the questions that I have would be next year when hopefully this is approved, as far as logistics, staffing, and stuff like that. But right now, I'm very supportive of your efforts and the court's efforts and your leadership in moving this forward to get us to this, even if a simple thing as a letter of support or this resolution, I think is what gets this done. So with that said, thank you for what you're doing, and I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve the resolution.
I will second that.
Okay, just real quick, a point of clarification, Karen, do we need a resolution number for this? And for the record, I'd like to read the resolution. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Vigo County, whereas the judges of Vigo County have presented a proposal, statistics, and an estimation of expenses to the Vigo County Commissioners concerning proposed legislation to create a new judge and court in Vigo County, Indiana. Whereas the members of the Board of Commissioners of Vigo County have reviewed and considered such proposal, it is thereby
Should be resolved.
resolved
Yeah, we'll
by the
correct that.
members of the Board of Commissioners of Vigo County as follows. The Board of Commissioners of Vigo County hereby requests the Commission on Courts to favorably consider the establishment of a new judge and court, and the Auditor of Vigo County shall forward a copy of this resolution, including the positive and negative votes of the members of the Board, to the Chairman Commission of the Courts, of which is resolved this 4th day of September 2022. Motion was made by Commissioner Kern, seconded by Commissioner Morris. All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. I'll make that correction, and we'll get that to you, Tammy, and thank you. And we'll be in touch about, where and how this will all work. I think we've got a proposal, but we can talk about that at a later time. All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Robbins, number 4. He has 2 agreements for us for engineering services.
Morning, Commissioners. The first agreement is from DLZ, and it is for professional engineering services to evaluate our traffic signals. The county has 8 traffic signals, all in various stages of age. So it's a good opportunity to evaluate all of these signals with some new technology that's been coming out and things like that, make sure that we're up to date and that our signals are functioning properly.
If I may, too, Larry sent me this agreement. I made some recommended changes. I think I copied everybody on those, and they made all the changes I requested, so.
Correct, and the agreement amount is for $19,300, and that's to evaluate the 8 traffic signals that we have in our inventory currently.
Any questions?
Just for education, for the group in here, while we have 8 signals out in the county, we have a relationship with the city right now to maintain those signals.
Correct. It is a old maintenance agreement that we have with the city that dates back to the time of, the only maintenance you had to do was basically change the light bulb. So it's not adequate for what we need, the services that we need to maintain our signals. So with this agreement, evaluating these going forward will be something that we'll evaluate with the city going forward, or possibly another consultant to do that signal maintenance on our signals.
The commissioners have been working on this with Larry for several months. The traffic signal situation has been evolving, and so this is, again, we've been working on it for several months, and this is how we decided to proceed. And I make a motion to approve it.
Second?
All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Larry,
Thank you.
your second one?
Yeah, the second agreement is with HWC Engineering. It is a contract amendment. This is for Clinton Road. It come to our attention that the first phase of Clinton Road was originally planned to stop at Hasselberger with a planned traffic signal at that location. The gas station that is located on the northeast corner of Hasselberger or Crystal and Clinton Road has shown interest in making improvements to their site. So in order to accommodate them, we are extending the limits of the roadway about 1,000 feet north of there to incorporate their improvements into the first phase, so they don't have to wait for the second phase. Because the first phase right now will be construction in probably fiscal year '26. The second phase will probably be 2 to 3 years at least after that, so.
Thanks for the update.
Do we need to take official action on that, Larry, or is that just more of
Yes, so
a-
you'll have to approve the contract amendment and the numbers, the amendment fee. It was an increase in the design contract for $185,798.
I would make a motion to approve this amendment to our contract.
Second.
All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Larry. Anything else?
Nope.
No? Okay, good.
Unless you have any questions.
All right, comments from the public. Any comments from the public? Comments from elected officials, other officials in the county? Kevin Gardner? Haven't heard from you in a while. Good to hear from you.
Hello, Commissioners.
Morning.
This isn't necessarily something that should probably come out of the assessor's office, although I've been approached by multiple people. The concern is that with everything that's going on in the area, in the county, you're seeing more and more of the Airbnbs that are popping up. The issue is there's really no way to monitor them and make sure they're following the same guidelines as other hotels and things like that. So the comments that have been made to me, and was requested if I would approach the commissioners, is if there's a way to maybe create an ordinance that would say you have to get a permit to be an Airbnb, a small amount, like $2,500 or whatever. But if you don't and you're caught operating the Airbnb, maybe put a pretty drastic fine associated with that to give them an incentive to get the permit so that they can be monitored. At that time, you can also make sure that they're paying the innkeeper's tax as they should and following the same guidelines that other hotels and operations are required to follow. So I'm just bringing that to your attention. You guys can address it however you'd like.
Yeah, Dave Patterson actually reached out to me about a year ago with those same concerns, innkeeper's tax and things like that, so.
You're going to see them coming up more and more, especially if the casino goes and people start flying in. I think you're going to see Holman Airport getting used more. Everything out on that 46 area, I think you're going to see a lot more of the Airbnbs pop up, even though the casino will have a hotel. And it does leave an unfair practice to anyone who's following the guidelines with the innkeeper's tax, the requirements of the facility, things like that. So just something you might need to look at addressing at some point.
Unless they are operating independently, the innkeeper's tax is collected by Airbnb or VRBO or whoever they're renting the place. through. And they subsequently pay it to the Indiana Department of Revenue, and then they distribute it back to us once a month.
So I
that's
guess
how-
at that point, the only ones that you're gonna miss are the
are
ones that,
that aren't using a
maybe they're
national
just using
service.
social media to advertise and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be a big issue. I do know you're gonna see more popping up. I don't know how many of those would be slipping through the cracks or not. As an assessor from our side, we have no way of knowing. I mean, the only thing we look at is it's either assessed as a house or it's assessed on the rental income, and that's based on the information they give us.
Well, thank you for bringing that to us. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Jimmy, is there a way to get figures as to how much revenue is coming in from the program you just mentioned?
Yeah, get a disbursement every month.
And does it break down through Airbnb type places, properties?
That's what it is from the Airbnbs. The hotels pay it directly to the treasurer's office.
So just doing a quick search on VRBO, there's 11 properties listed in Terre Haute, I just put Terre Haute versus Vigo. I know people that stay in them when they come to town versus hotels, so, I
I
mean,
know.
they are doing it.
It's not well,
They're doing it.
our place, we've got down in Georgia, we're required to buy a permit from Tybee Island to rent the place out.
So you're doing a permit at Tybee for yours.
And then it's,
And Kevin, that's what you're wanting to see here is a permit system?
The suggestion to me was a permit system, just to give them the incentive to actually come out and open the space.
Airbnb shows 62 homes under Terre Haute, so I guess it's safe to say there's 100 properties probably available for that. Is that,
Oh, it's-
in your discussions, Kevin, does that sound about right?
I think that's probably about right for now, probably got 4 or 5% that, I don't know.
Wait, somebody put my house on here. Kevin, did you do that? There is one just like it. It's not mine, but as I pull that up with that looks like my place.
Josie, Diana, Bruce, anything? I know Bruce doesn't have anything. Commissioners, you guys have anything? Brendan, nothing?
We, the three of us had a wonderful celebration 2 Saturdays ago with the Wabashiki Wetlands, the dedication where we recognized 4 key individuals that were involved in the project. And I think it's important to recognize that event, the successes where family members literally came from all over the U.S. To be there with their loved ones. And Commissioner Judy Anderson, we recognize her for her efforts in the project. But a key takeaway that I had was recognizing key individuals, I think, is important, not only just to thank them for their efforts, but to inspire some of these younger people. A lot of our youth, I don't think understand that importance of their role in moving our county forward. And we had a lot of young people at that event. Commissioner Schweitzer, Commissioner Morris, and I, and Senator John Ford gave remarks, and looking around that crowd, it was refreshing to see the potential inspiration there. So I'd just like to share those sentiments that it's important to do good events, and it builds our quality of life here in Vigo County.
Mike, do you have anything?
No, it was a good event. That was amazing. Yeah, the number of people. I recognize Judy, recognize Max, John,
Arby,
Arby.
ARBIE.
Yeah. That's a pretty broad range of people in the community, too.
I think as Commissioner Morris and I are avid cyclists, he more than I. Larry, we wholeheartedly thank you for your department's efforts on giving us some exceptional bicycling roads in northern Vigo County right now. And we'll try to stay within those freshly painted lines, won't we, Mike? Yeah, no running off the shoulders on these roads. So thanks for your guys' work. Record amount of paving in the last 3 years, and just because of your efforts, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, Larry, everything's, we have a little paving left to do, is that correct?
1/8 of a mile.
So
We knew we'd get you back up here.
most of our paving is complete for the year. The last two roads we did was Devenold and Roberts roads. It was part of our community crossings award we got earlier in the spring. The one area that we have left to pave this year is 36 in Oakdale. We're doing some drainage work in there, gonna pave those roads in that subdivision. Like you said, it's not very long. It's only about a block long total.
We'll be micro sealing Hunt in the next few weeks.
Correct. Micro sealing Hunt and Harrison Woods.
subdivision.
Both of those, we're waiting on a contractor to get in town to do those. Unfortunately, there's only one that does that for the entire state, so.
And can you share with us why we're micro sealing versus any other methods?
It's a surface treatment, so it's sealed structurally. Those roads are structurally intact, so we're trying to preserve that surface and keep the elements out of the roadbed.
And it's a lot cheaper than paving.
Correct. A lot cheaper than the rig. Should extend the life of that pavement, so we don't have to pave, more often.
Thank you.
Any other
Larry,
questions?
you're the man.
We just like having you talk, man. Is anything else you want to talk about, Larry? No.
All right, just one thing for me, maybe our friends in the media can help with this. There's 35 days left until the election. Simple reminder that only 18,587 people voted in the primary, which is less than 25% of registered voters in this community. So for people that constantly complain to us about things or complain to their friends about things, if you are willing to allow 1/4 of your community to make decisions for you and to put people in office to help you and assist you and things like that, then you better get registered to vote by Tuesday, October 11th, and hopefully you vote in this upcoming election. So with that being said, are we in recess, Brendan, or adjourned?
Recess. While they're voting in here, we're gonna move back to the conference room for your next meeting.
Yeah, and our next commissioner meeting will be in the commissioner's conference room. So we stay in recess. Thank you.